Hello, avgeek buddies and enthusiasts. Michael here from Nocturnal Simulations, and I'm thrilled to have you with us today. Today, we're checking out the Fenix A320's latest features, and we've got a bit of a lineup for you tonight, including myself, Mike, Ken, Ghostbuster, and occasionally we'll have people pile in, kind of midway through the flight and catch up with us. If you want to join, feel free to comment in the chat or hop in the Discord here, and we can get you caught up. Today we'll be heading from Tampa to New Orleans. The original flight plan had us going out over the ocean, but with the sunset, I figured I'd get us closer to land. So we're doing a little bit of a different flight plan, kind of more inland. Adds another 10% or so to the flight plan, but the viewing should be a little nicer. For those looking to be a part of the growing community filled with insights and invaluable support, don't hesitate to visit our Discord. It's full of amazing help, and everyone in there is extremely nice and friendly. If you found any sort of value in the channel and what it supplies, you can support it through a Buy Me a Coffee link below, or explore products from my affiliate partners VR Rock for your VR prescription lenses and top-notch Pimax headset from Crystal. I'm sorry, from the Crystal headset from Pimax. I said that backwards. Like I said before, all the essential links are provided below, so take a look at that in the video description here. And with that, let's jump back in the cockpit and get going.
Another short hop.
Okay, back.
Let's just go to New Orleans.
All right.
We're going to chase the sunset. It makes more sense.
Yeah, we're going to try to enjoy the sunset for as long as possible. All right, battery is 27.1 and 27.6, so we're good there. Let's go ahead and get those turned on. Let's get the external power on just to give us a little extra juice.
I've got 19 right. Is that what y'all have? Departure.
Yes.
Yeah.
And then let's see here. Nav lights on. Get the crew supply on, and let's get the ADRs 1, 3, and 2 turned on. Go ahead and do fire checks here in a moment. Once the computers boot up, it will. With the Fenix, it won't do anything until everything kind of starts getting sorted. Gonna get our gyroscope set. All right, that's good. And let's see if the APU will blare at us.
It's a lot of passengers.
Not yet. Oh, there it goes. All right, and we'll go ahead and check the engine 1 and 2 over up here. Go ahead and get our fuel pumps turned on, and let's get this thing loaded. Nice balance. Load aircraft will do fast time 6 minutes. I only have 120 today. I don't know what you have in that 380. 250? Or 330, sorry.
269.
Oh, wow. Yeah, the 380 you would have 369 or 469.
Yeah.
Alright, so FMGC, we are in the current engine option, the CFM56, and our nav data is up to date. We do our init request. I need to double check Smart Cars is running, which it is. Flight number DAL929. Cost index today is 53. Must have a bit of a headwind. Cruise altitude 380. Should automatically pull in the temperature. Let's go ahead and grab the winds. Wind request. Let those load in. There we go. Alright, and let's go check out our... Make sure that all this information got pulled in from the flight in it. Did not. And data request. Alright, there we go. So, flight plan. KTPA. Departure. We're looking at runway 19 right. With the ended 1 departure. It doesn't look like there's a transition Anybody seeing a transition?
No, there isn't.
Okay. All right, and then let's check out. Clear out Scratchpad and check out New Orleans. Arrival, we're expecting runway 2 on the Monster 1, I guess is what that is.
Oh, I was thinking Minister.
Mr.
Yeah, I thought monster.
MINSTH.
Okay, so now you can see like with the psyches of different people, I guess.
Well,
You guys not only can't see, you can't read.
I won't say what I first thought. I about said it out loud, and I was like, wait, it can't be that.
Minstrel.
That's what I thought at first. I was like, minstrel? What?
Yeah.
And then this one does have a transition of SJI. Okay, good there. We do have flight plan discontinuity departing out of here. Since we are not on VetSim, we'll go ahead and remove that and just go straight to ended. I've got to remove the manual first. And flight plan discontinuity. Okay. All right. So once our 8 years align, we should be able to review all that. Airplane is getting close to being loaded.
Okay, I remember where 19 right is.
So we can go ahead and check out the map here while everything is loading. Go ahead and pull in all of our navgraph charts onto the FB just in case we need them.
Alright, fuel's gone. Just got to load all
Tampa.
these bags.
Ground charts. Let's go ahead and star the, I think it's the airport info one. Yep. So that we have that starred. And then we want our departure ended. We'll star that one. Go ahead and take a look at that, see if there's anything interesting. So we are departing runway 19 right, climb on a heading of 1872540, then on a heading of 203 or assigned by ATC. Which is basically what we're doing. This tops out at 6,000 feet. We're going to go ahead and head straight up to 380 from here, just simply because we don't have to worry about anybody else.
Oh, we've got plenty of time tonight to vets and make some of our own vets and fun.
Yeah. So Mike and I got to enjoy some interesting instructions that I've never had before. We were flying past a waypoint, and they told me that 4 miles past this waypoint, go ahead and do a 180-degree turn to join the localizer. I was like, what?
Where was that at? Where y'all going into?
It was in New Orleans.
Yeah.
And then
I'm gonna one up that one because I was flying perpendicular to the same waypoint, and he said when I reached, 4 miles from that waypoint, to turn. I was already 10 miles away from it and flying perpendicular, so I was only gonna get further. That got very confusing for me.
And then the airport model, the default MSFS model for the airport, does not include the north side of the hub. So they told me to take a ride on to Gulf, and because I requested the north side of the hub, not looking at the map, thinking north, south, whatever I was just pick one, whatever, it doesn't matter, I'll go wherever he wants me to. And then I'm like, wait, why are these airplanes parked in the middle of a cornfield over here? Like, what the heck are they doing? And then I realized that I'm missing not only the taxiway Gulf, but half the airport. So I was like, I need to change this up.
Wow.
And that was after, I said Unicom. Oh, shoot. Center was giving us 1,000,001 different directions and instructions. It was just like, what is going on? Mike got the benefit of being behind me, so he got to hear all the crap I was going through. So he got to, you know,
I was writing down all his
get all the
instructions,
notes.
figuring I was going to get the same ones 5 minutes later, and I was getting ready for him.
All right, so our zero fuel weight is 126.5. Oh, let's get our weights in first, actually. Not the performance. So what did I say? 126.5. And 30.4 on the CG. And we have a block fuel of 6.2. 16.2.
Your
Now,
baggage loading process is at 34%.
go ahead and get our departure performance. 34%. Sync the load sheet final. And we are on runway 19 right. Runway surface is dry. I'm going to leave packs on since we are in Florida. Speaking of packs, I'm sure everybody is really happy with me right now because I've never turned on the APU bleed or the APU at all. So let's get that started. We can get the ground air on while we wait. Start cooling everybody off out there. PCA. There we go. Okay. The parking brakes are on. Chocks and cones we can go ahead and remove. Come back and get the GPU and PCA before we start our pushback. Alright, sync live weather. Packs on. And all that, everything else looks good. Calculate. Alright, got V speeds of 145, 4547.
At 67%.
And then we have a flaps 1 down 0.468 on the flex. Oops. 1
Thanks for that reminder on the
slash.
APU is 92 degrees in my cabin right now.
Yeah. Yeah. I was like, wait a minute. Yeah, it's currently 91 degrees in here too, but I got the ground air on, so hopefully it starts cooling off for them. Yeah, it's starting to cool off for them back there. Okay, flex temperature, what did I say, 68 degrees? Yes, 68 degrees. All right, so performance is all good. Clear out scratch pad. And we're basically going to be departing runway 19 right and doing an immediate 180 degree turn. So let's go to plan.
Vacuum controller messing with you.
Yeah.
You know my story in LaGuardia in Corey 4.
Where you can never get the 44 arrival.
Yeah, so I requested it one trip in. I asked him. I said, request fly the Corey 4 arrival as published. And what do you do? Started vectoring me.
Naturally.
No, can't do. And here we go.
Ken, what's special or what's the folklore of the Corey 4?
Nothing. Just the view and all, and.
Oh, I hear my dogs barking.
I've never actually on VATSIM ever flown it,
That's funny.
Yeah.
Okay, so I'm looking at the arrival, and we may vector ourselves in. That might be where we get. Might hit you guys up with the same thing that we got hit with earlier. So I'll get on the ground and let you and start vectoring you guys in.
Get your pens out.
Oh, my boys are in there barking. Apologize for all the dog barking in the background. Let's see here. Where were we? Okay. Flight plan looks good. Let's go back to ARC. Keep this on 10 miles just to make it easier to see. Right hand fly up to 10,000 a day. And let's see here. Let's go ahead and get protective wind shear on. We're going to simulate some random number for our squawk code. Go ahead and turn that on. And I believe I'm ready to go when you guys are.
Yep, boarding's been completed.
I'm close. I'm not there yet. But...
Okay, starting to power off. go ahead and get the ground air off also. Since we got the bleed air on for the packs from the APU. And this should be a very pretty departure with the sun setting the way it is. Okay, I think I'm ready. Now, something I did not do was turn my track IR on since I did restart my computer.
All right, so what order are we going in? Michael?
Oh, I did. Never mind.
Me being Big Buford will be last.
All right, yeah, so yeah. Okay, so Michael, Mike, me, and Cameron. Okay.
Works for me.
That works. I'm ready for push and start.
Alright, let's check around, make sure nobody's behind. Looks good.
What is it? Nose to the nose right, tail left.
Pulling up the chart right now. Doing 19 right. I'm going to do nose. Well, it doesn't really matter. It's right behind me, so I'm going to do nose right. And then head up Bravo 1 to Alpha to Victor. Alright, let's see here. Let's go ahead and connect this tug. Okay, tug is connected. Parking brake off. Let's go straight back. Start. What? There it goes. Okay. Alright, ignition on.
Tail left on the push.
Yes.
No, tail right. We're
Er-
on 19. No matter, we're on 19.
I'm going nose to the right.
I'm going 19 right. Okay. Yeah.
I can pretty much go straight back and then hit a hard turn here.
So like Mike's planning on going to 19 left.
No, I am.
Got this taxiway right behind me here. I'm gonna hop up onto Alpha. Oh, this is pretty cool with Mike right here in front of me. You know what? I didn't load my Xbox game controller to see if it gets a good screenshot for me here. Come on, take it. Go straight back and stop. I don't know if it. Oh, it just took it there.
Yeah, it was a cool view before.
Yeah. I got another one. All right, engine 2 is up and running. Engine 1.
Very cool on the stream.
Come on, engine 1, get up and running air.
Kinda am going 19 right.
Right.
I just pushed this way so I did not interfere.
I want to make sure I was right. When I first started to think about push, I was thinking we were 19 left, but we weren't. All right, I'm just going to push.
Go ahead, you might. Oh, why is it pushing on me all of a sudden? Stop. It just randomly decided there's no tug available.
Okay, so I'm pushing. Nobody's in the way, I hope. Cameron, I see you back there already.
Yep. I pushed.
What's going on here?
Made sure I was far enough back from you.
Did you see my tug decide to push and pull me there at the?
Yeah.
Oh, you know what? I don't know. Just go ahead and set the parking brake. My rudder pedals have not been connecting automatically. Let me go restart the hub real quick. Give me like 2 seconds. Default. Resume. There we go. I don't know why it's been doing that. Got to turn my beacon on. And then let's get the overhead lights up. It's getting a little dark in here. And lights armed. Okay, engine 2 is up and running. Let's go ahead and start the chrono. Light controls. Full up. Full down. Full left. Full right. Right rudder. Left rudder. So that's all good. Let's go flaps 1. Max on the brakes. Spoilers are armed. And I believe that's it. Need to print me off another checklist. I don't know where mine went, so I'm kind of doing all this from memory.
Alright.
Altimeter. Altimeter is 2988. And we're going straight to 380. Okay, let's go ahead and get some cockpit lights on going on in here. It's getting a little dark in here. Turn ignition off for now. Okay, there we go. I'll try to leave those brighter than usual for everybody watching this stream. Should show up a little nicer. Alright, let's go ahead and warm the cabin. And we can do a takeoff config test. Normal.
Normal. For me as well.
Alrighty, I'm ready to go when you guys are.
Roll.
Alright. Taxi lights on, strobe on. Second brake is off. And let's roll. Keep the speed down during this S-turn. Alright, so I find it interesting that the chart has an alpha taxiway off to my right, but it does not show up in the sim. Second time today that's gotten us.
Yeah, several airports across the country like that.
I mean, there's a little road over there, but it looks like it's more for cars.
Yeah, it's a non-movement road. I worked for Tampa before.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, there's a non-movement road. This is like one of the main roads getting from 19 left over to 19 right.
Yep.
And then there should be like a little bridge overpass that allows all the cargo vehicles to get underneath and onto the non-moving road from outside.
May have to get the scenery for Tampa. I always enjoyed flying in and out of this place in real life. Alright, so this is Victor. According to the chart, yep, Victor on the sign there too. And we'll get a cool little picture of you guys lined up on the taxiway when me sitting on the runway. How about that?
Okay, that'll work.
And I'll do it from my angle as well.
Yeah. May start kind of posting that everybody brush up on their VAT sim skills. It'd be nice to do a VAT sim on a Sunday one time.
Oh yeah.
Something that I'm gonna have to work on.
Until you can get over your fears.
Yeah.
Alright, looking at the windsock, got a bit of a crosswind. The weather here is 2807, so makes sense. Alright, let's go ahead and enable TCAS. And let's go ahead and get those runway lights on. And move the takeoff. Pay for the whole runway, use the whole runway. Clear right, clear. Well, we got somebody on final there.
Coming in from the other direction.
Yeah. So here, while we wait on him, I will snag a screenshot real quick. Oh, this is cool with the sun.
I got a couple as we're being pushed out.
If you guys come up here right now, we can get the sunset in it. That's pretty neat.
Wants to tighten it up and get closer.
Yeah.
I'm about close as I can get the mic.
And that's
pull up.
I'm getting.
I can pull up closer if you want.
Yeah, pull up a little closer. This will be our group photo since it'll be dark at the next airport. Dang, give it a takeoff thrust to get moving.
Seeing it from back here was cringe.
I thought he was going to smack right into me.
He'll roll on a straightaway, but if you're
Alright, cool. Alright.
I'm also gonna get the moon in this picture as well. I just noticed that.
Park and break off, and let's get moving forward here.
Yes, I got it.
Clear left, clear right, let's go.
Since I'm right behind someone, I don't want to blind them with my taxi headlight.
Well, I don't have a rear view mirror, so it probably won't.
Alright. Flex plus 68 SRS. Nose down.
Don't forget to rotate.
I sure hope I don't forget that. 100 knots, release pressure. B1, rotate.
just gonna give him a little bit of time so we don't have T.
As of rate, gear up.
I love when I turn TCAS on, it says flight attendants ready for takeoff.
And right turn.
Kind of a good reminder to not turn TCAS on until you get on the runway. So you
Yeah.
fry everybody's brains on the ground.
What's the fun in that?
That's what they're paying these tickets for.
Extra dose of radiation. Alright, leave her to climb. Leave her climb. Climb.
Need this school bus
Get off
hotel.
49 in position and hold. 19 right.
Got eyes on you down there, taking off. Holding on the taxiway. It's pretty neat.
Which
Level
space
off
do you
here.
not want?
And flaps up. A minute or two is fine.
Yeah, normally it's like once I see someone making that right, that's when I'm normally going.
Yeah, don't get too close because it will bunch up sometimes. All right, I'm rolling.
Yeah.
I'm clear.
Pull up our departure chart.
80 knots. Check.
You alright up there?
What's that?
You were saying maybe not on takeoff.
Who was? I had an 80 knot call out. I said check. You talking about that?
Oh, yeah.
On the right, you're up.
Delta Airlines 1460 on runway 19er, holding short.
Let's turn off our nose light and runway lights. Still a manual flight all the way up to 10,000.
Delta Airlines 1460 rolling.
Nine thousand. Smart cars thinks I'm at 10.
Positive rate, gear up,
10,000. Autopilot on.
flaps 1.
Landing lights off. Oops, turn the APU off too. This is what I get for not having my checklist in front of me.
Flaps 2, flaps 1.
Disarm spoilers and auto brakes are off. A little warm back there, so let's cool it off some. Temperatures right here showing 76, 76, and 77 degrees. I need one of these packs for my office.
Oh, the air conditioning units
Yeah.
blast cold air. Big long tube.
I just have my turbine sitting out back in a big 1,000-gallon tank of Jet A. What's your cooling bill? $7,000 a year. What? Yeah, about 7,000 gallons or 1,000 gallons of Jet A, you know. Some of these lights. just to help out with the stream quality. What's up, Diesel? How are you doing today, buddy? Go ahead and turn off head tracking. I think if you go to views on the Phoenix, is it there's a cockpit or external maybe? Oh, cabin window. Right middle. Let's go left. Oh, there we go.
What altitude are y'all going to?
380.
Yep, that's what I think.
I should have a hotkey for these. Camera. One second. Oh. Not sure what the hotkey is for those without closing it out. Left aft. There we go. That's a cool one. My lights are on back here. How do I turn those off? I think it's in the Fenix app itself. Is it some settings? Cabin lights? Yep, that's it. 18,000 feet. Let's go to standard. Seatbelts and a company message.
What about you, Mike?
I'm 18.5.
I just made it to 10,000. Still working my way up.
Yeah, I'm coming up on 14.
You're in the 737.
Yeah.
Yeah. Not to mention you guys are kind of lighter than I am.
Just a little bit. Look at those.
Cabin views that you have there, that must be a Phoenix feature, right?
Yeah, they just had some preset views from inside the cabin. I'm still in the cockpit per se. Look at those finger smudges. That's cool. They did a really good job of getting all those fine little details. Oh, we get the moon in there too.
737. On the you can read the serial numbers on the cockpit glass. You know.
Yeah.
That was cool. The moon and the sun.
You can actually go up to the cabin. You can open the door into the cockpit. Keyboard and navigation's not the best.
Code for unauthorized cabin entry, essentially. 7,500, is that what it is?
I used my IMAX crystal headset inside the PMDG, and the cockpit feels like an apartment. Yeah, Diesel, I do have the PMDG 737. I haven't flown it in a while. I need to get a couple flights in again before I stream on that because I will fumble over myself. 100% trying to fly that right now.
I forgot you had that.
Yeah, I haven't flown it in a little while.
I put some screenshots in.
This should be a cool screenshot right here in the cabin.
I'm at.
Do you have the 737 diesel? I want to say you can actually get the jump seats popped out too. I'm not sure where the quick spot is. My fist. Maybe you can't in the Phoenix. I thought you could.
My hockey sticks are floating.
Is the bathroom model? Nope, just a black hole.
I mean, that is a bathroom, though.
I'm back here and make myself some coffee real quick.
I'll take mine with half a cup of sugar and a whole bunch of creamer, please.
You don't want that hot, black, and nasty.
I'll take mine, the Irish version.
It definitely takes its time getting up to
Yeah, the CEO of the A320 does not have the climb performance that the Neo has. The Neo, on a long flight, the CEO really struggles to get to like flight level 380 until it burns off some fuel.
yeah, I'm around 67,000 pounds, if not more.
And fuel?
Yeah.
I have about one of your tanks. I've got 13,000 right now.
Yeah, I have about 27,000 in my two middle tanks and my two outer tanks, another 6,400 pounds of fuel.
Sounds like you're probably carrying some extra, even for that night.
Yeah.
It's actually what it gave me. I was like, this looks kind of
Like a lot, but
a lot. But I wasn't sure how long we were going to be sitting on the,
you got stuck there one time and you've been paranoid ever since.
yeah. I mean, when you're in a 747 and the tower just makes you sit there for an hour or two just burning fuel, not allowing to leave, but allowing everyone else to leave, it makes you question some things.
You must have ticked him off.
Yeah, tower can. I need to go back and get fuel if you're gonna keep me like this. Diesel, which version of the 737 do you have? I think I've got the 700 and 800. I don't have the is 900. 900 is that, isn't it?
Yeah, 900 is the latest. Yeah, I've got
Yeah.
the 800.
Yeah, I love the 320 diesel. It's I'm a bit of a nerd, so all the automation is pretty cool to me. And the Phoenix does a fantastic job, especially after their updates. It runs a lot better than it used to. It used to be a bit of a challenge. When I first got it, the computer I had at the time, which was like an i7 7700K and a 1080, it was questionable if I could run it. It was pretty bad performance-wise, but then when I upgraded to a 3080, it became a lot better. And then now with the 13th series i9, it runs like a dream along with the 4090. I will say PMDG did a fantastic job with their optimization because it really does not feel like a heavy bird to fly on your computer in terms of performance. You don't get beat.
It feels really solid compared to the fly-by-wire, though, you know. You know what I mean? That feeling you get?
Yeah, it feels like yeah, it does feel really solid. Everything about it feels really good. Even the fly-by-wire has some performance issues. Hey, Volcano, how's it going? Let's see here. Where are we in the world? Oh, we just passed over Cedar Key, Ken.
Favorite spot, one of them.
There it is.
You've been there, hadn't you?
Yep.
We used to fly in there all the time, RL.
I've never flown into it, but I've eaten dinner there a bunch when I worked down in Ocala for a little while.
That's what we would do, fly and grab something to eat, and back in the good old days.
Yeah, I used to.
Someone down there off to my left.
What altitude are you at now, Cameron?
275.
Yes, I'm just slow climber. I'm coming up on 27.
Yes, I am excited about Microsoft Flight Simulator 2024. Hopefully, they fix some of the issues that we have with 2020. When I was at the Flight Sim Expo and they announced 24, or it had already been announced at that point, but they were talking about it. They were mentioning that a lot of the problems that they're having now is they've pretty much met the limitations of the current engine. So being able to include even more in the sim compared to what they've already have will be pretty awesome. Now, I'm sure we'll go through our usual growing pains, and the community's going to lose their mind like they always do because people are never satisfied. But I think that going 24 is a good move, especially since they did mention that upgrading from 2020 to 24, your airplane should be pretty minimal on being able to get them to the next sim. So hopefully, the manufacturers, they have to, they're in the business to make money. So they're going to probably have a charge of some sort to go from 20 to 24. But hopefully they offer discounts to existing owners for 2020. That's going to be my big thing, because I have quite a bit of sceneries and airplanes in 2020. So having to.
Saying they might charge to transfer that over.
I imagine they will, unless there's like no work involved with them going from 20 to 24. Yeah, Diesel, I'm worried about losing mine too, to some degree, but I think at least for the free mods that we use, it should be a pretty easy transition. At least that's what I'm hoping, and that's what they've led us to believe so far. But yeah, I mean, the amount of money that I've got tied up into this sim could skew my decision to moving over to 24 immediately or not. Just a little bit. I mean, 24 is obviously going to be the way of the future. And everybody's going to start developing for 24 at some point and stop developing for 20. So we'll be forced to move at some point, but I hope they take what we have currently, which is pretty stable, performs pretty well, and just, continues improving on everything. Volcano, do you have any thoughts on that? Yeah, an entirely new SDK would be a pain. I imagine they'll take what they've learned from the existing one, though, and probably keep the interactions pretty similar. I haven't done too much within the SDK in terms of like development stuff. I've kind of poked around in it, but having worked in SDK environments in the previous life, I can understand how much of a pain that is going from something that you're used to seeing and how it operates to something completely different. Yeah, I don't even want to tally up how much money I've got into 2020 mods, because I would probably make me sick if I had to think about transferring over, but they put these sims out there not just for our enjoyment, but to make money off of. So
is 24 gonna have like the same basic liveries like Orbit Airlines, or are they gonna actually put real world for once?
I'm sure they'll have their Microsoft Flight Simulator specific default liveries. But I imagine there's a licensing issue when it comes to putting real-world liveries out there that they might run into. Because essentially they would be making money off of a product that someone else made,
mean, it was a question I've always had.
Yeah, I mean it's a fair question.
Hoping when they release it that we'll be able to have both versions installed simultaneously and be able to switch back and forth as we need and until some point in time.
Means I'll be buying another solid state.
Yeah,
Yeah,
there's worse things than that we could be dealing with.
I mean, luckily solid states are coming down in price pretty good right now. You can get a terabyte for Ken, what, $50? Since the one we were looking at getting you, $50.
Yeah, that local place is like $60. I think installed they're gonna charge me what, $100 maybe.
$100, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm gonna be doing a full computer tower rebuild soon.
I would definitely wait until the end of the year so that Intel and Nvidia, if they were to produce any new products, they'll have them out for you.
Yeah, I was looking to going to Ryzen or something like that.
See, I don't know if this is true, and this has just been my experience from helping people. It seems like Intel and Nvidia tend to be unless the manufacturer of the video game bases their design off of AMD hardware, they tend to be more stable. And that could just be me talking out my ass, but from anybody I've helped with some weird, obscure issues, a lot of the times it seems like AMD hardware tends to be
I mean,
a little more finicky.
I've noticed that Intel likes to get a little bit too hot.
Yeah, I won't disagree. I do not disagree with that. My i9, I've got the biggest all-in-one water cooler you can get, and it's still not powerful enough to keep it cool at full power. So
Easiest thing to do. Dropping it into a pool of water. Done.
dry ice.
Got
If your mods don't transfer, you'll probably play 2020 until they release mods for 24. Yeah, I don't disagree. I imagine a lot of the community will do the same. You know, if we're in the same holding pattern that we were with 20, where we're waiting forever to get a good airliner, for example. You know, the CRJ from Aerosoft was kind of the first really good airliner, along with the fly-by-wire A320. And that took, what, a year or more? So it's kind of tough to fly on VATSIM when your airplane can't fly a basic route. So
That was a big jump of turbulence. Holy crap.
we're definitely chasing the sunset. Go over to the co-pilot seat, first officer.
I mean, I threw some pictures and screenshots for you.
Yeah, I've got some I'll have to throw up there. See what you get. Screenshots. Oh, that's cool. Go to my captures folder and pull up some of the ones I snagged. Yeah, spending too much money on a GPU. Well, I don't just sim with my GPU. I have benefits for having a very powerful GPU for some stuff I do for work. So it was kind of a mutual benefit. But I wanted to not have to worry about any sort of lag or anything like that too in the sim, so that's a big reason why I bought it also. The amount of time I spent on the computer and the performance and quality that I want out of it, it was worth the investment for me. Because I've got a ridiculous amount of RAM too, which I need to have.
Well, what is a ridiculous amount?
Well, the maximum is 128 gigs, and I have 128.
Okay. I'm at 47.
64 is not a terrible idea for a Microsoft Flight Simulator. 32 is all you really need, but 64 just gives you that sense of it's not going to be a problem. I mean, really, you can get away with 16. 32 just helps. It's not a huge upgrade. It's more, it kind of helps with stuttering more than anything. And then VRAM is huge for Microsoft Flight Simulator, so having the most VRAM I can get with the 4090 offers was a benefit.
I don't see anybody's lights in the distance.
Yeah, I was just out looking ahead also. I don't see anybody. I know Mike is pretty close to me based on that. I mean, Volanta.
Yeah, Diesel, 16 gigs of RAM is the absolute minimum I would recommend because Microsoft these days takes up 4 or 5, and then you throw Google Chrome or something in there, get more than one tab open.
Yeah, that's what I've got, you know, but, you know, it runs pretty good most of the time.
Yep.
We have issues. Well, the other thing is going to get upgraded along with the SSD.
I just don't like that. I can't uninstall Microsoft Edge because I don't use it.
At least it's not taking up a ton of room. I mean, it's kind of annoying having stuff you don't need on your computer, but with
Yeah.
flight simming, I've got so many apps and things now, it's hard to keep track of everything. Let's look at the weather at... Oh, that's Tampa. Let's go to arrival. No wind. That's nice. It's better than what we had earlier. 10 miles of visibility. You get scatter clouds at 9,500 and 25,000. Temperature's 31, so it's still very warm. Let's keep that in mind. And then altimeter 29901. And I will have to rely on Navigraph for the remarks because my remarks knowledge is not good. Nothing of note. Now see, this says winds are 290 at 4 knots on Navigraph, so we might have a little bit of a wind there. Huh, that's interesting. Even the clouds are different on Navigraph. Diesel, is it your computer, are the RAM slots maxed out? Is that your issue? Because what you could do is get a stick or 2 of 32 and just completely get rid of the 8s or whatever you have. I don't know, Tommy, he's looking to upgrade, but he got one of those pre-built computers, and a lot of the times they'll get hardware that's kind of hard to upgrade with, like especially the power supply. They'll get the minimal power supply they possibly need for that setup, and then to upgrade to a video card, for example, you'd have to get a whole new power supply along with a video card, which just kind of hurts you. Okay, what's the rest of your specs, and what kind of settings are you running? I'm always interested in seeing what people have.
Me or
Volcano. Or you can tell me what you have too. I'm not sure what you have.
I got an i7 9500F from iBuyPower from like 2019.
Yep.
It had a NVIDIA RTX 2060 Super, but it wasn't working right. It kept getting too hot, and it fried one of the fans.
Oh, that sucks.
So I had to replace it, and I got the MSI series NVIDIA RTX 3060 Super. and that was I think it was like a 12 or 16 gig.
The supers are pretty good. I think they gave you what, more VRAM is the big difference in them.
Yeah. And then I added extra sticks of RAM, 2 16s for a total of 32, and I had only 2 sticks of 8, which were taxing the rest of the computer.
Yeah.
And then I added 1 SSD. But it's coming to the point where I'm just about ready to just do a full rebuild. I'm just waiting for my credit card to be fully paid off.
Yeah, I understand that. Continuous battle.
Yeah.
The motherboard had a RAM limit. It's probably a slot limit. It probably only had 2 slots. I would be surprised if your motherboard was limited to 16 gigs of RAM, because generally that's based off the processor. Someone correct me if I'm wrong, but I don't know why. I don't know why the motherboard would make a difference in terms of the... Like, you should be able to get 128 gigs of RAM with 264 gigs of RAM sticks. If you really wanted to spend that kind of money, which I don't recommend getting 128 gigs of RAM for just Microsoft Flight Simulator. It's pointless. The max I would recommend is 64. RAM prices the way they are now, you can get 32 for fairly cheap. Who'd you get your pre-built through, Diesel? iBuyPower tends to do pretty good with their stuff.
I got mine through Best Buy.
Well, but it was an iBuyPower computer, right?
Yeah.
Okay. Man, they're doing something right.
2019.
They're doing something right to have their pre-builts being sold at Best Buy. HP Omen. Oh, I don't know anything about those.
I see a lot of them still sitting.
Yeah, Diesel, if you send me either on Discord or somewhere on YouTube the link to your computer, I can look that up for you and let you know. But I imagine if you take the side panel off the case, you'll see that your motherboard, the RAM slots, which are those vertical sticks next to the CPU, will be, the slots will probably just be maxed out. But I imagine if you take those out and then put higher capacity sticks in there, then you'd be fine. And if it doesn't work, you can always send the RAM back.
True.
Yeah, I'll probably... We'll see what kind of offerings Intel comes out with this year, but I'll probably skip a generation if it's not a huge upgrade. And then with a 4090, it's not even being remotely maxed out with MSFS. Unless I'm in VR, then it'll run like 95%. And this is... I'm running almost max settings in my sim. I did turn down the terrain LOD, I think, level of detail, to 350, and that just cut back on stutters. And that's honestly...
The stutters going into populated airports.
Yeah, and that's more of a CPU limitation. You know, right now Ryzen does have the best CPU for Microsoft Flight Simulator.
Yeah, 'cause it's between that, Starfield, and then World of Warships. It just kind of has its moments.
Okay, Diesel, that sounds good. Yeah, just you can send me a DM and I'll look it up for you. Oh, that's cool. Get the moon right out the window now. That last turn. We better enjoy our sunset flights while they last, because we'll be having to move around the country or the world to start getting daylight flights here soon. Unless, of course, we change time of day.
Well, that would be cheating.
Yeah, well, VFR flights we kind of have to, but for these kind of flights, we don't necessarily have to. Plus, you know, there is the added benefit of seeing things at night when you're coming into a big city. It's kind of neat, all the lights and everything.
Yeah, I like it.
I do too.
You know, I thought about getting the whole upgraded lights through Microsoft Flight Sim. Maybe I can see people better instead of just the whole stock ones that they give you.
What do you mean by upgraded lights?
When I was looking in the marketplace, it said that they had better wing lights and anti-collision lights that you could actually see from a distance.
Huh.
I don't know if it's true or not.
I'll have to look that one up, because I do complain about that. Like, one, aircraft draw distance is not far enough, especially if I'm trying to get a zoomed in picture with the drone. If I zoom in too far, the airplane just disappears. If you're on like a 5 or 10 mile final, it's kind of aggravating.
I see someone up ahead.
Pop out here, it might get a little noisy.
Yeah, looks like he's kind of bobbing up and down there. Looks like a little bit higher than I am.
38. Guess it was 2992. Got a pretty smooth ride.
Yeah, you're practically on the borderline of I'm seeing you but not seeing you.
Oh, this is cool. Get the contrast.
That's really cool with them spinning.
Yeah.
opposite Direction.
You have 2 slots, but you thought there was some other limit. To my knowledge, unless you have a weird motherboard, it should not be motherboard related in terms of the maximum amount of RAM you can have. Get those chemtrails for everybody.
Mine are shrouded by darkness.
Yeah, these probably look white from the other direction. Yeah, there we go.
Cameron, I see you coming from back there.
Yeah, I'm doing Mach 8.3.
You be catching that.
Yeah, I mean I'm closing the distance, but it's not horrendous where there's not a gap.
I'm 797.
Here's what I love. You zoom in on this livery here, you get like, I don't know if that's, I guess the way they've got it, it's like the way the air flows over the wing. You can see like I don't know if it's damage or just residue.
That's really cool.
Where are you putting that? Am I missing something?
On stream.
Oh, spring. Okay.
There you go. I'll send you a picture of my contrails. I had to look at it at a different angle.
And then you can get the reflections. That's cool.
Would you guys like That last picture I just threw in there.
One second, I'll look at it.
Oh,
Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah, that's cool.
Oh, y'all wake me up when we get there.
About 130 miles top of descent. Getting there.
It's yelling at me that there's traffic now.
Lower up. I can't even see you guys right now. Actually, I don't even see Ken. Unless it's just hot. Might just be hiding your name tag.
Yeah, Mike right in front of me, and you're a little bit ahead of him.
You should see me directly behind you, but you're not. Or I didn't see it on here.
I saw your gamer tag.
Alright,
And then Ghostbuster.
Mach 7.9er. Yes.
Yeah, I'm at 0.785. Which you guys are a little ways behind me, so it's not that big a deal. Ooh, it's cold up here. Negative 52.
Yeah, just a little bit. It's only gonna burn the skin just a little bit.
It'll only hurt for a few minutes, right?
Yeah.
We're due north of the Panama City Airport. Maybe
Yep.
we could glide in from here.
Oh, yeah. Starting to see. Looks like that's Pensacola right there in front of us, and Destin is off to our left.
So yeah, I'll have this flight plus the one from earlier pending for tomorrow.
We've Mike and I put quite a few in earlier. Be number 4 for today, I guess.
Well, this will be number 3 for me today because I did that Boston to Atlanta. And then this will be good for the end of the day. And then I just go to bed, then go to work and build airplanes.
I'll go to work and build other things. Well, right now it's more planning to build things.
Planning is good.
So, top of descent.
I see Mike up there.
It's not cumulative.
So when do you do your descent? Like
100, 110, 109.
That's what SJI.
Mine is right about on top of SJ.
Yeah,
Yeah,
so
mine's just past it.
Yes.
Yeah, with the headwind A339 Neo, you don't get that top and descent. Granted, I'm in the stable only because the development portion just didn't want to install.
That might be the difference because I found the
Actually,
development one and it does give you the same white
yes.
the right arrow indicator that the 501 gives you.
Diesel. If you, well, the motherboard's going to be kind of hard to find.
What?
He was having trouble finding his computer specs. I'm trying to think of the. You can get something called.
Should be in your settings.
Oh, let's flip that over here. I'm trying to get his motherboard. Is the challenge. Get a hardware monitor
Performance.
for your model of motherboard. You can get something called hardware monitor. I think that would show you what you need in terms of what model it is. Or maybe device manager. Oh, here we go. System Windows system information, maybe. Or hardware info. HW info might be a good one. I think that'll give you, yeah, that gives you the exact motherboard you need, and then hardware monitor would do the same thing, I believe. Because hardware info and monitor are kind of the same program. But if you download that and then look at your, I think it's the summary page, it should tell you everything you need to have.
Alright, I'm gonna have to.
They're bouncing around some different menus here. Okay, top descent, 85 miles.
I had to slow back down again. It was yelling at me. Descend, descend, traffic, traffic. I mean, once she's in the air, she gets up and goes. I mean, I would say probably 5 miles off of MK.
You're also really light right now for that airplane.
Yes, that is also very true. I'm at 22,000, almost 23,000 for fuel. I had to back down my speed from 260 to 250.
About a 66 knot headwind too.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's kind of hurting our ground speed tonight. That's why the cost index was so high.
Yeah. What was yours? What was your cost index?
48, I think. No, 53. I
Yeah.
had one that was 48 earlier.
99.
Ouch.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
That
Yeah,
other
the-
one's not going to be cost effective on this trip anyway.
No.
No.
Yeah, because normally I'm trying to do longer hauls during the weekend, but it's like because I just got certified for this one, it's not giving me a lot of distance with it.
What's not giving a lot of distance?
Whenever I put in my zero fuel weight and fuel CG, and then I figured out that I can't go off of what's on SimBrief. I have to go off of what is shown on my EFB tablet instead.
Oh, you might need to get a... They probably have a SimBrief profile you can use.
Yeah, because for the zero fuel weight for me to get from New York to Charles de Gaulle, it's like 399.1, and the percentage is like over 60.5%, and then block fuel's at like 99.5 for fuel, for my block fuel, and it's like invalid.
Oh, you're talking about for a 320?
330-9.
Maybe I'm not following. Are you saying you're too heavy
Yeah.
to land? Is that the problem?
No, so to be fully fueled up, it's not allowing me to be fully fueled. So everything in my wings, plus my center tank. So whenever I put everything into McDo, keeps saying invalid. I don't know if it's just the stable version.
So that information will not load for you.
Yeah. Will not.
It's weird.
So it's
It
like
does
when
in mine.
right. So whenever I do SimBrief and I add whatever it needs, like zero fuel weight, I have my minimum and max. I make sure I have my max in there. I've even tried the minimums and it still said invalid error.
Well, SimBrief calculates that too.
Yeah,
Thanks, Diesel. I'll check it out in a minute.
because it was showing me 399.1.
How are you getting it from SimBrief to the airplane?
It just imports it straight in.
The process that I do when I'm flying that in the fly-by-wire.
Yeah.
Once you do it and you go back to the world map, go down to the bottom, hit save or save load. I forget exactly how it's worded. And then another screen will pop up and it's another load deal. And then you can go and just zoom in on the departure airport and pick a spot and go, and the flight plan will be there.
Right.
Mm-hmm. Is that what you do?
Yeah. And it's
It
like
doesn't sound like the way you described it.
right. And I mean it's hard to kind of say it when I'm not actually doing the flight with you.
Yeah, looking at it, yeah.
Yeah.
I was just with the fly-by-wire and with the headlands as well, but I'm running the development versions. I generate my flight plan in SimBrief, or if it's on TDV, it uses SimBrief in the background to do the same thing. I load into the departure airport. I don't do anything else in the world map, and then in the MCDU, you have your import there. What's
The init request.
yeah, init request, and then after you've loaded your fuel and cargo from the fly pad, which you have to do the download from the cloud, use that cloud button to pull it from SimBrief for the amount of fuel, the amount of cargo passengers. Once that's all loaded, you can go in the MCDU, go to init, arrow over one from there, and you can import the zero fuel weight and the block fuel, and confirm the block fuel. That's how I
Right.
do it.
Now, when I'm running GSX, a lot of like the fuel and stuff, it handles that on GSX plus the boarding and all the other ground services. So I don't even have to use the lab, the iPad.
Okay, Diesel, looking at your motherboard here, the motherboard or memory upgrade information from HP says it can handle 2 DDR4 288 pin socket RAM sticks, and I think the confusion is it says it supports 4 gig and 8 gig DDR4 UDIMMs. So you have 2 slots. But then there's another note that says it supports up to 32 gigabytes of unbuffered with 216 DIMMs on 64-bit system. So if I look at
Yelling at me.
a Corsair Vengeance LPX DDR4 RAM, they make 2 sticks that'll get you to 32 gigs, so two 16 gig sticks. That should work. So who told you that it couldn't support more than 16? It was that just because it was full. Oop, top of the sun's coming up. Better pay attention.
I just tried that hardware info
Yep.
utility on my system, and it looks pretty spot on. I think it pulled all the information correctly.
Yeah, his he sent me a screenshot of his and it pulled pretty much everything in right. I might have everybody do that from now on whenever I ask them the hardware specs.
Yeah.
Alright, destination data. Next phase. Next phase.
Point was that it looks like it. I mean, just from experimental one, it got my information correct for the hardware that I have running.
Yeah.
Like it got the right motherboard model, right down to all the details. For what it's worth, it seems like it works pretty well.
It should. Alright, QNH is 299.0, temperature is 31.
I mean, wind speed says 0 degrees at 0 knots.
Yep.
Is that what you
0.
guys got?
Yeah, I got that on multiple sources now. So I'm going to believe it. I think after I started complaining about it being different on Fenix app versus Navigraph updated. So Fenix must have pulled something a little later. Yeah, Diesel, I'll send you a link, and then, like I said, worst case, if it doesn't work for whatever reason, just send it back. But I'll send you something that I think will work for you. Alright, so winds 0, and then let's see, let's get the minimums real quick. Minimums are 415. And destination data has been entered. So we got VNAV on this airplane. Functional. So we'll go ahead and take it down to 2,000 feet. And follow the constraints in.
Yelling at. I keep catching up to you, MK.
And once I start descending here, Diesel, I will get you a link to something on Amazon. And it looks like the price is around 60 bucks. At first glance.
Yeah, I'm gonna start my descent just before SJI. I might still be a little bit heavy. But we'll see how much I burn coming in.
isn't that fuel dump button operable?
Okay, so doing a little more research for Diesel here. His motherboard was saying UDIMMs have a max of 4 or 8 gig support on each slot, but it can support two 16 gig DIMMs. So the difference between UDIMMs is they use unregistered memory chips, meaning they don't have any power consuming load reducers, while DIMMs use registered or buffered memory chips. So it's really a power consumption thing, but power consumption of a RAM stick is pretty minimal. So I don't see why that would be an issue for anybody with today's modern hardware. Go ahead and start my descent. Get a little ahead of the game here.
All right, I'm coming downhill, folks.
So I will snip what I see here, Diesel, and highlight what I just said, where it says it supports. Oh, what did I do that? Undo. 4 and 8 gig DDR4 UDIMMs, but then it supports up to 32 gigs with two 16 gigabyte DIMMs. I'm assuming you get 64-bit system with your hardware. You do. And then for anybody that was interested, I'll also send it to the schedule, or Apollo Launch, sorry. Alright, plane is descending on the dot. Perfect.
Behind you, just got on the arrival and turning 97 behind you.
I'm also making my descent. Buford is inbound. I guess and I mean, they shut down my checkers in my area, so it's like I gotta go like another county over to get some checkers.
So you still play checkers, huh?
No, I don't play. I eat it.
Oh, so you're talking about the hamburger joint?
Oh yeah, oh yeah. I gotta make that 20-minute drive to the next county.
I figure you young whippersnappers wouldn't even know what real checkers were.
It's not no rallies. It's a checkers.
So you don't know what I'm talking about, Mark. So,
How about Chinese checkers?
That one I just sent you is a little pricier. It's the Pro version. Diesel. Let me see if I can find another one. Oh, hang on. Oh, okay, I sent you the right thing. 32 gigs total. Yep. That's just 2-pack? Oh, it's two 16s. Okay. I upgraded your power supply, so it shouldn't be a problem. Yeah, like I said, it'd be minimal. I imagine it's more of a, if you're trying to get a computer that pulls the least amount of power for whatever reason, server, something. Home entertainment center server. That one right there has the DDR4 2933, PC4 23400, which says that it supports. So those should click right in for you and work perfectly. If you need me to go cheaper, let me know. And I'll see if I can continue finding you something else. And for anybody interested in what we're looking at and talking about, I've posted the screenshot from Diesel's motherboard along with the RAM in the pilot lounge.
Okay. I was watching your stream, so I was kind of interested.
Yeah.
Because I just didn't want the double feedback.
Sure. You can always mute one.
Yeah, I could have. And just put captions on. Or whatever it is. Subtitles.
Alright, so this has this overflying the airport.
Mine does not. I loaded ILS for runway 2.
Yeah.
Transition on final, and it's taking me
South.
from the last waypoint slid.
Yeah, I got slid and then it continues on past slid. I don't have the discontinuity deleted.
You know, I was looking on Navigraph. I wasn't looking at my flight plan.
Oh.
I already checked that.
Yeah, Diesel, if that doesn't work, just let me know, buddy. I'll try to find you something a little cheaper.
Yeah, after Slid, I have decel for Royal, Hobby, and then right in.
So what I'm going to do is 5 miles out from the airport, I'm going to turn left on a heading of 196. And then at Pavi, 4 miles past Pavi, do a right turn to 016.
You know, it's 4 miles before Pavi, I think. Isn't that
No, it was after. I had to do after. Oh, he actually had me turn 350, which was to just get me within 30 degrees of joining the localizer. So after Pavi, 4 miles after Pavi, do a right turn 350 to join the localizer for runway 2. And then we are on 29901.
You know what you could do? You could go from Slid to Hotel Romeo Victor, and then right turn to the initial approach base.
That's a little bit of what that guy, I think, was trying to do to us today, I think. But it was via vectors. He didn't give us waypoints.
Yeah. Okay, so I'm going to descend to 4,000 feet.
I'm just, because I'm so heavy, I'm just trying to burn as much.
Or 2,000, actually. Never mind. Keep it at 2.
So I'm practically just trying to descend all the way down to that 2,000.
Yeah, see, we were coming in from the other direction.
Yeah.
And he made us fly north of the airport and then do a right downwind. So we were coming in from this direction right here, came in, did a right downwind, then...
It's more of like a hexagonal down.
Yeah. Well, mine was actually pretty straight.
Oh,
They had you all jacked up because they were trying to get you zigzagging for spacing, remember?
Yes.
So 4 miles past Pavi, I'm going to do a right turn to 350. And then 5 miles from the airport, actually, okay, start over. 5 miles from the airport, left turn on 196. And then a right turn 4 miles past Pavi, 350 to join the localizer for runway 2.
Oh, so you're going to cross over the ILS and come back in.
No, I'm doing a right downwind.
Because Pavi is... That's the final approach phase.
MK, I am going to be passing over you.
Bringing them?
I did not mean this to happen.
Just don't hit me.
Let's go ahead and go into
I
heading
can
mode.
See your light.
I'll watch you on stream because I'm having a hard time visualizing.
Okay.
Yeah, you're taking because Pavi is only.
Alright,
Well, here,
I'm
I'll pull a
looking
Navigraph over.
now.
Here, I got Navigraph pulled over now. So here's what I'm going to do. 5 miles out from the airport, I'm going to do a left turn, 196 for a right downwind. And 4 miles past Pavi, I'm going to do a right turn to 350 to join the localizer.
I'm sorry. I mean, 4 miles past Pavi could be on any heading. So I
Yeah.
was picturing flying on a 180 across the localizer and then coming back in.
Oh, no. Yeah, that's why I was trying to say that. Oh, I need to slow down quick. Slow down, girl. Let's hold her at 10,000 here and slow her down a bit. 350.
Did you see me, MK?
I don't know if it was doing that for me or not, but
I was a little busy making a flight plan change here. I did not see you.
Okay, I still see you. It's like still descending below me a little bit. Still a little high.
Man, I'm coming through 16,000.
Roger. I'm just 17.
I'm gonna try what I was saying. I'm gonna go to Hotel Romeo Victor and then inbound.
okay, now I'm at 250. Let's go ahead and descend down to 2,000.
Coming up to Minister.
Michael, did you see the moonlight on the water?
Reflecting.
That you?
Yeah.
Yeah. 'Cause I see it on my monitor, but it's not coming across on YouTube. It's very faint.
Yeah, the color at night on YouTube is not the best.
I think it's probably HDR to SD conversion too.
Yeah, I'm sure it has something to do with it. I mean, I can actually see it on my stream there. May not be as pretty because it gets kind of pixelated. For whatever reason, when you get these darker colors, it comes across as really pixelated.
That's probably compression effects.
Yeah, I'm sure. So once we get to the airport to about 10 miles, we'll get ready to do a left turn, 196.
So you're gonna turn south when you're 5 miles out.
Yep, to stay on the east side of the airport. I think they actually had him at 4,000 feet at this point, but we'll just go on down to 2. It's probably more for noise abatement than anything.
Could be.
All right, 10 miles out. 7.5.
Making that turn to HRV.
And start the left turn to 196.
So you're going around the south side of the airport?
Yeah, I'm on the east side of the airport right now, going south. So now what I had to do earlier when I got surprised with this was go into nav mode on the rows so that I could measure 4 miles approximately past Pavi. And once we get to Pavi, we'll start slowing down the 205. Yeah, let's go ahead and get situated in my chair here. I'm all moved around.
I'm gonna fly
Yes.
with my mouse as long as I can.
What's that?
So I'm gonna fly with my mouse as long as I can,
Yeah.
or take my feet up off the desk.
Well, how'd you land your plane? With my mouse.
auto landing. You know, I've never done an auto landing in the Phoenix.
I've never done it either.
I don't know.
I've just been hand flying this in.
I'll have to get a checklist for auto land because I'm sure I'd miss something. All right, let's go ahead and get our landing systems enabled. Confirm we're on ILS 2, which we are. So we are coming up pretty much parallel with Pavi here, so we will start slowing down 205.
I see you all the way out there, MK.
You don't run over me and run off, huh?
I mean,
Who's
Yeah,
MK?
parallel with
Who's
Pavi.
MK?
Yeah, what does that mean?
I don't know.
I'm going to pull in a notch of flaps here just to prepare for this because things happen real quick. So let's go ahead and pull in
your
flaps one.
letters mixed up.
Because I think what happened to me last time, Mike, was I got too slow trying to finagle with the autopilot too much. And we will activate our approach. And then 5 miles or 4 miles out, which we're getting close to. On its way, should arrive Wednesday. Awesome. If you need any support, feel free to DM me, and if I don't respond immediately, just keep DMing me until you get a hold of me. All right, right turn 350 until you join the localizer. Maintain 2000. This is a lot easier when I already know what's happening. So you can see here, this is where we're heading bug is. We should join the localizer here. We'll see the heading mode disappear to manage mode here in a moment. And then the approach captures. We can go back to the arc here because it should be coming into sight. It is.
I'm making the right turn at Hotel Romeo Victor.
Alright, we're heading into the localizer. Should capture.
Coming up to flight level 335. 50.
Where are you at, Mike? What approach are you taking?
I'm following Michael's
Okay.
path as well, so said you're at HRB, I see on TCAS.
Let's see, whoever's in front of me, they're a little high though.
So Ken, I think you'll still end up spaced behind me. Ghost, you are very close to me.
Yeah.
So what route are you taking, Cameron?
The one Michael's about to be going in on.
Okay.
Yeah, they must have had me a lot closer to the runway when I did this before because it just kept on turning me in.
I'm a Lone Ranger out here then.
And it is not capturing this heading on the localizer, so I'm going to manually turn myself in. There it goes. Alright, just I was impatient, I guess. Alright, let's go ahead and go down to 180 on the speed. Flaps 2.
Turning red base.
I think
going
I'm gonna be
direct-
in
direct
before you,
lobby.
Mike.
On glide slope. Nope, went to 200. Go 180. There she goes. Flaps down. Or gear down. Let's continue on down to, what's my performance say, 142. This is a pretty short runway, so medium brakes. Spoilers are armed. Flaps 3. And flaps 4. Thousand feet above ground level. Let's go to manual control. Cancel out the master alarm. Click it twice so the alarm goes off.
Somehow I got here before you, Mike.
It's long enough to give you some space.
Crap. Come on now.
Yeah.
Ken's coming in. He might get before you. We're gonna be on top of each other.
Above. 400.
Gear down. Give me some drag.
Minimum.
Minimums continue.
Somebody coming in from west to east on runway 2.
200.
I'm about over the threshold right now.
100. 50.
I am 3 miles from Potty.
20.
Throttles back. Flare. Alright, reversers full. And reversers off. Let's hit this taxiway. It's pretty smooth. It's a lot smoother than last time. And we'll do a left turn.
Alright, I'm turning inbound from Potty.
You're coming.
Butter.
You see me trying to figure out your nav lights here. Which way you're going.
Alright, let's not forget this APU this time. Taxi lights. Come on, turn on. Oh, these click spots are annoying sometimes.
1000.
4.1 miles out.
Go bring the flaps in and retract the spoilers. Not that you can see. All right, who's landing?
I'm coming, and I'm high and fast. Oh, that's Cameron. Sorry.
Cameron's on the ground. That looked pretty good. Looked pretty solid.
I'm gonna have to fight this down now. TCAS really blew me.
And I'm 3 miles out.
Yeah, you are very high.
Yep.
Oh, I missed that exit there. I'm having to take the entire runway here.
Yeah, it's a pretty short runway. Oh, I have what I needed right there. Nope, no, I didn't. So here's that north area that I was telling you that doesn't exist off to my right. We gotta go to the south and cross runway 29. Looks like Mike may have recovered.
Gonna be a little fast. Need a lot of reversers here.
I'm coming in. I'm fixing to come across the threshold.
Nice.
Oh, I bounced. Damn it.
And
That-
here comes another one.
I don't see Ken. Dang it.
I just touched down.
Yeah, I don't see, unfortunately. All right, let's go to south parking.
I needed every stitch of that runway.
Crossing runway 29.
Literally, like, perfectly every inch of it.
Yeah, you didn't touch down until kind of late.
I'm not stopping, guys. Help.
Oh no.
No brakes.
Oh man, that's
Oh, I wish you could've
737.
seen- I wish you could have seen my view because I had just popped outside my airplane, so I was looking from behind and watched you just go right through my tail.
Oh man.
That one, huh?
You had no brakes, huh?
And no brakes. It would not stop.
Oh man. Oh,
That's some junk, huh?
my Andre's airport lighting doesn't appear to be working, so I can't see any of, or at least for this airport, I can't see any of the parking spots. So we're just gonna have to guess here a little bit. So I guess
It's your takeoff nose light.
yeah, it's all on. I got every light on, I think. Yep. I think this right here is a spot.
Clear left, clear right, crossing 29er.
Yeah, here we go. Here's a spot.
I need to find a big parking spot for this behemoth.
Ooh. It stopped. Alright, park and brake. APU is available, and engine 1 and 2 are off.
I'm coming to park. I don't want to miss the pick.
Oh, well, we took the pics earlier. I'm just going to use those, Ken.
Oh, okay.
Because I think it's too dark. I mean, if everybody wants to park next to me, I can make it brighter out.
No, it's fine.
Actually, let's do that. Come park next to me, which I can't see you at all, Ken, so
I don't know why.
I don't know. Microsoft Flight Simulator.
Maybe that's why I had no braking.
You got Cessna underneath you, anyways.
Oh, do I?
Yeah.
I didn't even see him. Oh, well, you have a bunch of random airplanes turned on.
That too. I gotta figure out how to turn that crap off.
Yeah, that'd be in your... It's either your setting in the world map, or it's you got airport traffic turned on. In,
Fly-by-wire.
No, it's within, like... You know how you get, like, vehicle traffic on the ground traffic, whatever? You can turn that up.
Yeah.
Alright, so let's get the APU bleed on so that everybody doesn't hate me again. beacon we can turn off, and we'll leave the nav lights on for you guys. And let's go ahead and release the passengers. Go back over here and aboard. I don't know if this jetway's going to work. Oh, this airport's just a mess. Alright, let's get the ground air on also, since it is really hot here. And lift door open. And what we can do is get the forward stairs down, since the jetway does not appear to be working. Alright, let's bring our speed all the way down to 0.
I've got the same thing as you. The lighting is not working here.
Yeah.
I got that
Me
same
too.
mod.
It's dark.
Yeah, and Andre's airport lighting, which is an awesome mod for this exact problem we're running into, because this used to be what it was like all the time landing at night. Fixes this for most airports. I don't know, maybe it's because it's such a new airport. It's missing some stuff. Fuel pumps off.
So where are y'all?
ADRs off.
Move it, Tina, you fat pig.
Crew supply off.
The big
I don't see you
A330 taking up half
anywhere.
the...
I must not be able to see y'all now.
Oh, must not be.
Oh, well.
At least everybody showed up on a Delta delivery that I did see. Well, I saw Ken initially, and then he disappeared on me for some reason. Let's see, what am I forgetting? Meteors off. Everything over here is good. Fuel pumps are off. Ground power is on now. We can actually turn off the APU bleed and APU. Go ahead and turn our nav lights off. Strobe. Everything else is off. Leave that one on. Okay, that's all good. Oh, forgot to turn TCAS off on landing. Turn our radio off. Break the wind shear. And we'll go ahead and get the lights turned down.
Yeah, so I landed with 54,000 pounds still left.
7580. So that
Yeah.
landing rate was 59. That was pretty darn good.
That was good.
Alright, let's go ahead and shut her all the way down.
So it says I touched down early at 5:34. I mean, I was heavy, so I mean,
Yeah.
I think you're loading more fuel than you need to.
Alright, be right back. Alright guys, I hope you enjoyed that. If you need any technical advice, feel free to jump in Discord. And like you saw just now, we were able to help Diesel out and get him a little bit better performing computer. Feel like supporting the channel, the Buy Me a Coffee link is down below, along with my affiliates. Like I mentioned before, we have the Pimax Crystal, or any product from Pimax. There's a discount code down below too for a few dollars off. And also, you can get a little bit of a discount with the VR Rock prescription lenses if you're in need of one of those for your VR headset. And with that, guys, happy flying. Diesel, have a good night too. And that was perfect timing for the plane to shut itself off. All right.